Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Inflammation Deep Dive workshop. So happy to have you here. I promise you will receive a great value of your invested time. Now, my idea was to really go deep. Sometimes I really have crazy ideas. With inflammation, it's impossible because it's so complex. But at least a couple of nuggets here and there will help you, and you will learn some new information that we don't really talk much about it, but so very important. Hi, Jenny. Welcome, welcome. So let me just tag Olga. Olga, okay. I know she asked me to do that, and I will remember as we go. The workshop is being recorded and it will be placed in our Facebook group. But anyone who would like to get it, just message me, DM me, happy to send you the recording. So let's get started. This is the topic we really can't talk enough, guys. And because, let me see, okay. So as you know, guys, I am not giving you medical advice. This is information for educational purposes only. Hi, Alita, welcome. So if you or any medications, any protocols, any supplement, this is not an advice for you to make any changes. For that, you need help of your healthcare provider. So just to be clear, the presenter is me. Many of you know me, especially people who join me right now, but I need to introduce myself, right? My name is Ilona Berkoven. I used to practice medicine for many years. Then, because of the total burnout, I retired or switched into functional medicine, which I really, I'm not that just I love my work, I'm obsessed with it. Really, I just love what I do, guys, because it's such a huge difference. And the good news is functional medicine is gaining popularity, if that's the right word, recognition maybe. It's getting more into mainstream, hopefully. That's my big hope. And when I don't work, which I really don't consider work, and I see a couple of my clients here, I just love them. I really deeply, deeply love my clients and love my work, and it's just beautiful. So when I don't do that, I study constantly. I take classes. I think on my deathbed I will finish some of my classes, which is beautiful also, keeps my mind sharp. Then if I don't do that also, I like to forage and hike. I like nature. Nature is my sanctuary, my place to recharge and get in deep connection with myself. It's beautiful. So, and like to travel as well. So inflammation. We know that inflammation is the response of the body to a trauma, to a trigger, right? And we have acute, we have chronic inflammation. Now, what is the major difference? Acute inflammation, you know it. For example, I like to use oh, thank you, Jackie. Jackie says, we love you, Dr. B. Um, so you cut your finger, you know, it's red, it's painful, you can't move it because it hurts, it's swollen, right? Limited function. So you know it, you can't miss it. But chronic inflammation, it's very subtle. The symptoms are really, say, minimal. They are not so specific. And frequently we don't pay attention, we normalize somehow, okay, I'm stressed out or I'm getting old or whatever is that, right? Until the function of the organ or tissue really get damaged substantially and then rehab. For example, um, what can happen? We have cardiovascular disease. The inflammation is smoldering for many years. We might have a little bit of symptoms, but we usually don't have until a substantial blockage, for example, is talk about heart attack, right? It's happened. Because why we don't feel anything at the beginning? Because the body has incredible capacity to compensate, right? So we not necessarily feel symptoms. For example, if someone has heart attack, it didn't happen because suddenly the coronary artery get blocked. It's a long process. And when substantial amount of the coronary blood flow get compromised, we have the chest pain, right? First on exertion, then in a resting state, right? And then a heart attack. Same with autoimmune diseases. Same with rheumatoid arthritis, for example. Usually for many years, it's most of the case of autoimmune diseases, we have very subtle, some elevated markers, the normal markers, some pain, it subsides, some tiredness, but it goes away until the full-blown rheumatoid arthritis happens when the joint is red, inflamed, painful, then we have the deformity and so on. So, and with some reason, this chronic low-grade inflammation should not happen. Because when we have that danger, when we have checking if anyone else is joining us, someone else joined us, hello, welcome. When we have the acute inflammation, it's over, my cut fingers healed, it's done. In case of chronic inflammation, yes, we have the triggers, right? But anyhow, it should be turned off. The turn off switch for the immune cells is not working. And there are multiple reasons for that. Usually the trigger persists, and we will learn why is that so. So here I just told you guys, the subtle symptoms we don't associate with chronic low-grade inflammation because no one is going to walk around or no one comes to me and say, hey, Dr. B, I'm so inflamed. On rare occasion happens, but usually not. They say, I have no energy, I have brain fog, my joint hurts, my muscles are wasting, I can't lose weight, right? That are the most common. Joints are hurting, right? Brain fog, I can't think clearly, I can't focus, I can't lose weight. Whatever I do, the scale won't budge, regardless what I do. And I think I will create a couple of workshops later on this topic because it's so important, guys. And I will mention a little bit later on during the workshop. So what are the triggers or sources of inflammation? We can divide them in two major groups, the endogenous, meaning internal within the body, and exogenous or external outside of the body. So internal sources, and I will devote most time to this because we are in gut health bubble, if it's the right word. So internal sources, gut dysfunctions. We have dysbiosis, we have SIBO, we have leaky gut, we have poor digestion, low stomach acid, poor bile flow, chronic low-grade infections, right? I have a hair here. Sorry for that. LPS sounds familiar. Let's get back to the beginning. Gut dysfunctions. Now, let me start with the poor digestion. How many people today are on acid reducers? Famous PPIs, right? H2 blockers, histamine 2 blockers. How many people have poor bile flow? And I talked about recently, what is the most common cause? It's not the fat. Don't blame the fat. Grains, the wheat germ agglutinin. Agglutinin creates stickiness, not in case with the bile, but blocks the receptors that should send signal to the bile gallbladder to contract and give us a beautiful gush of bile. So the bile gets sticky, the receptor is blocked, so the gallbladder is confused. Where should I contract? Where the digestion need me, right? And why do we have all that? Diet. We will get to that. So, and I still have here, getting, so important, guys. Good digestion is foundational for great health, period. That's it. Now, when we have poor digestion, low stomach acid, poor bile flow, it creates terrain for dysbiosis and SIBO, yes, or SIFO. So dysbiosis is imbalanced microbiome in general, but mostly we think of the large intestine. SIBO is a small intestine. And all that predisposed to leaky gut. And when we have leaky gut, what is happening? The connection between the cells are damaged. I have a slide. And what happens, oh, thank you for the hearts. I like hearts. Let me just see who else joined us. So what happens, the tight junction, so-called, that's a connection between the cells, are getting bigger, and partially digested food, especially the peptides, goes into those increased spaces between the cells into the bloodstream, and that's source of inflammation and many other things, right? Then we have chronic low-grade gut infection. How many people have H. pylori not even knowing? Because don't forget, guys, low-grade gut infection can go unnoticed. Not always. How many people have H. pylori, for example? They have no clue. And we see the GMF, oh my gosh, look at this finding. So, and LPS, remember, I talk about a lot. What is LPS? LPS is a lipopolysaccharide. It's the component of the bacterial wall. But let me explain to be more understandable. So in case of SIBO, for example, we have small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, but not just overgrowth. We have, they call it taxonomic shift. So let's just simplify shift of the bacterial composition. Normally, the small intestine, it's not sterile, but close to it, very small number of bacteria, and they're mostly gram positives. When we have that overgrowth and that shift, remember, there will be mostly gram negatives, Klebsiella, Proteus, for example. And when they die, they release the LPS, the lipopolysaccharide, in their cell wall, and that LPS is very strong antigen. That means it will elicit immune system reaction. So that is when I preach, like my mentor usually says, Dr. Sheridan, preach, Dr. B. Yes, we can live with bloating. We can take Gas-X forever. Yes, we can manage constipation or diarrhea, Imodium, all different kind of fibers. We can take lenses. Oh, that is not bad, don't get me wrong. But what is behind? I had a workshop beyond the bloat. And exactly that is why so important to have a great functional test that will assess the health of the microbiome and health of the digestive tract in general. You know, anecdotally from a couple of my mentors, I have different stories. One couple of famous doctors in the field of functional medicine, they won't even talk to you until you have the gut stool test. So it's that important. Now, this is very important, and I want you to leave this a couple of crucial information, golden nuggets, let's call them that way. So what are the internal sources beside the gut, right, we just went through? Immune system dysregulation, overactivation, autoimmunity. Many times we don't even know yet. Remember, the autoimmune process is not happening from overnight. Nervous system imbalance, for example, stress, ongoing stress, trauma. This is very important. very important, the aspect of trauma, meaning most frequently brain injury, because it's dysregulate the gut-brain communication, gut-brain axis. We will have a separate workshop on that. Now, prolonged gut infection, I forgot to put that, gut infection, when we don't know, right? For example, H. pylori or some parasitic infection that we don't really have much of the symptoms. Fight or flight, a lot of stressful fight or fight, okay, flight, a lot of stressful situation when we don't know what to do about it. Impaired vagal tone. And guys, as my clients know, I'll teach all the time, we all have stress. That is inevitable. But our job is to learn how to decrease the effect of stress, shake it off and move on. It requires effort. It requires some work, but so important. Now, that is I highlighted blood sugar imbalances, insulin resistant, frequent glucose spikes, metabolic inflammation. Now, we don't even realize how important is this, guys. Here is why. Not only just the standard American diet, right? What do we have? Highly processed carbohydrates, high fructose corn syrup, all different kind of sugars, preservatives, emulsifiers, coloring agents, right? But just the fact the sugar, the frequent blood sugar spikes, followed by insulin spikes, it's very inflammatory. So in regular life, let us see just how does it look like. We skip, guys, and I was in those shoes. That is, I like to teach because when we know better, we do better. My clients know I tried every diet out there, almost every. So I was, eat every 2 hours to keep your metabolism alive, which is a nonsense. So especially we know that we need a period of time without food for migrating motor complex. But I would skip breakfast, and later about maybe 11-ish, 12, I will grab a energy bar. Back in the days when I just started reading labels, I wasn't so familiar. So I will get an energy bar. And we know, guys, that most of the regular, conventional that you can buy, vitamin store, grocery store, are same like candy bars, if not even worse. So what is happening? Hi, Nikki, welcome. So great to see you. So what is happening? I will eat that energy bar, and of course, my blood sugar will go to the roof. You don't feel that. Of course, you don't feel that. Or I would eat a banana, same effect. So today, this is really an epidemic, guys. And as you know, I'm very passionate about especially children's health. We see diabetes type 2 in children, young children, which was unheard of before. So we really, really need to do something. And good things are happening. Oh, hi, Olga. Great to see you. Good things are happening. The fit pyramid was changed. I will do a live or workshop on that. That's good thing. But guys, this is not good. And I don't like to do fear mongering, but this is, guys, not good. So what do we need to focus on is to have a steady blood sugar in the blood. So we don't have that insulin spikes, and we don't have started that chronic inflammatory process. Very important. So if you leave this evening, please remember this: blood balance, blood sugar, and one more golden nugget I'll tell you in a bit. So the next one is hormonal metabolic imbalances, cortisol dysregulation, right? Estrogen dominance. Now, this is huge. Again, we don't talk about mainstream-wise enough. How can we, I hear this from my clients all the time. How can a perimenopausal or menopausal woman or even a man have estrogen dominance? Here is how. We have a lot of fake estrogen out there. One is BPA, bisphenol A, right, in plastics. We have glyphosate. Glyphosate also disrupts estrogen metabolism. We have fatty liver. So the liver cannot process those fake estrogen. Yes, estrogen drops in menopause. Yes, that's fact. But because of those fake estrogens, estrogen will recirculate. It's complex process. We will have to, I think I need to have at least 100 workshops to go through all this, but very important. Thyroid dysfunction, very important, guys. Hypothyroid states are far more, yes, Nikki. Nikki says, so crazy, there are fake estrogens out, absolutely. Far more common, the hypothyroid state. And also, guys, fatty liver. Fatty liver is, today, is an epidemic. That I promised to my peeps, we will have that workshop and what parameters to take into consideration. We'll do that. I didn't forget. So, what are external sources? That is also so outside of exogenous sources, right? Diet, I just mentioned, food additives, inflammatory oil, sugar, ultra-processed food. Now, guys, I will mention, but my people know that we will start a free challenge this coming Monday. The detox challenge, 5-day detox challenge is free. Everyone welcome to join. And we will learn more in details. That is topic for the first day, food, toxins in food. Just one little nugget to take home today. Food colorings. And again, we will cover that next week. Food coloring, we know that the yellow, the blue, the red, and all that, right? But you won't hear on many places in this way. Food coloring, when it binds to proteins, albumins, right, in the food, it makes a digestive enzyme, stomach acids, including difficult to digest. You know, the little cuts, the enzymes like the scissors, have difficulty to digest when that bind happens. So, and we have leaky gut or gut inflammation that will end up in leaky gut. Those binds, the food dies and the protein goes into the bloodstream. Guess what? Creating more inflammation, maybe even leading to immune system frustration, leading to autoimmune disease. I'm not saying that autoimmune disease is caused by food colorings. No, no, no. But we have to think about the effects. So, guys, what is wrong today with our food? Many things. Food is heavily processed, hybridized, genetically modified, heavily sprayed with pesticides, right? Herbicides. No wonder we are so unwell. And I think every healthcare provider should climb the top of the building and scream. People wake up. No one will come to save you, but ourselves. We have to take a full responsibility. So food, toxins in food, chemicals, however you want to call, is a big thing. Inflammatory oils. What are those? Vegetable or seed oils, cottonseed, rapeseed, sunflower seed, soybean oil, right? Why are they so bad? Here is why. The process of extracting the oils, they need to use chemicals, mostly hexane, Then they heat the oils to get rid of the hexane of the solvent. But usually there is some traces of hexane anyway. But during the heating process, what is happening, they cause reduced oil. And reduced oil is inflammatory. So it's a chemical process of reduction, right? Oxidation. So that is a big problem. Where do we find those oils? Everywhere. Guys, if I really am obsessed with label readings, and many times I can be also fooled with, for example, I don't know, I think that some gluten-free chips, oh my gosh, I was so happy. I said, let me buy this so I can share. Then I bought, of course, on the front page was gluten-free. I believe it was cassava flour chips with sea salt. And of course, I was thinking automatically cassava flour, sea salt, it must be used extra virgin olive oil. No, guess what? It was used sunflower oil. And I said, oh, I can't believe it. So now I'm talking about uh, average people, right, who don't have knowledge, and we should not have knowledge of nutrition to eat healthy. Everything what we buy should be healthy. People buy and they see, oh, sea salt or whatever, not seeing the whole picture. And the problem with inflammatory oils, why they cause inflammation, the seed oils, because they are high in omega-6. And the problem is we have omega-3, omega-6, omega-9. It should be, there's a ratio that will prevent us or protect us from inflammation. But the problem today, the inflammatory, the omega-6 are way too high. We don't eat much fatty fish, wild-caught salmon. We don't eat much sardines, wild-caught sardines, right? Those are rich in omega-3. Then another pet peeve of mine, we buy extra virgin olive oil, thinking that is really what it says. But many times they are not so really clear. I do maybe even tomorrow, what is tomorrow, Thursday, maybe do a short video how to find, how to buy, differentiate a good extra virgin olive oil. What are the criteria and how to taste it? So ultra processed food, guys, that food is so heavily processed. It's a mush of chemicals. And of course, people to eat it, what they do, taste enhancer, emulsifiers, coloring, you name it. A perfect combination of fat, sugar, so people get addicted. You eat, and never ending until you get sick, right? So that is the problem. The toxins, that is big, and we will cover this, guys, next week. I'm so super excited. Environmental toxin, pesticides, plastic, heavy metals, air pollution, indoor pollution. It's crazy. And you will learn, and I know most of my people know already that the BPA free is a marketing. I don't even know. Is a scam. I don't know, maybe. Because plastic has to have plasticizer. So it has bisphenol A, bisphenol S, or bisphenol F. And if it's a BPA free, it has bisphenol F or S, same bad or even worse. How many people have K-cups? Yes, it's very convenient. I will admit that. But how bad is running through those plastic cups hot water? And don't even mention how bad are they for the environment. So we will learn all that. The worst thing, guys, someone can do is to buy that ultra processed food in plastic container and microwave it. I think, I don't know what worse could be, maybe to put in broken glass. I'm just kidding. That's a disaster because plastics are very unstable, as the bisphenols on high and low temperature. So And bisphenol A is bisphenols in general are pro-inflammatory. So think of that next time you drink from the plastic bottle, you basically drink a little bit of inflammation. Seriously, guys. And simple swaps. Buy a stainless steel water bottle, buy a glass, and you have it for a long time. And you save money. Mold and biotoxins, that is also huge. So, and mold is very frequently not paid attention to because we think, oh my gosh, it's so rare. At the contrary, lifestyle situation shows totally opposite. Or biotoxin, for example, Lyme's disease and co-infections, medications. So all external sources of inflammation. Now this is big. So this is the other thing, golden nuggets, guys, I want you to take away. One was insulin resistance, blood sugar imbalances, frequent spikes. And this is the next one, sedentary lifestyle. Muscle mass is crucial. When we lose muscle mass, I'll come back to comments. Thank you, Nikki, for commenting. When we lose muscle mass, that is an inflammation, just the sole muscle mass. When we live a sedentary lifestyle, the muscle don't contract. We miss the myokines. I also talk about. So when I talked about the 3 pillars of healing, we need muscle contractions because muscle contractions will release myokines. Those are chemicals, chemical messengers. And myokines go all over the body from brain to liver, kidneys, everywhere, pancreas, sending them good vibes. So we need muscle contraction. We need to work out. If your job is sedentary, here is what you can do. And every hour or so, do some, if depending where you work. I know if you work in public, open, you can do that. But you can do a muscle contraction. Contract all your muscles as strong as you can. Hold it as a couple of seconds, a minute or two, and release. That is enough to prevent inflammation because of sedentary lifestyle. Of course, we should exercise. I get that. If you are bedridden, do this every hour, on top of the hour. Contract all your muscles, even just isolated group of muscles. Guys, it's a big, big, big help. No one will talk about, but so important. Poor sleep, now this is for me. Poor sleep is very pro-inflammatory, right? Because of the cortisol spikes and all that. So we should need at least 6 to 8 hours of restful sleep, although I'm slowly improving, I have to report. Now, circadian disruption. So that means, especially guys, this is very hard for people who are working in shifts. For example, nurses, that just came to my mind. You have not night shift, you have day shift, as that's, we don't even realize how detrimental is that for our health. So this is it. Whatever we can do, weight, resistance band, find whatever you have at home that, and guys, those weights are really not expensive and so worth of investing into health. Join gym, you don't have to, do at home. Especially today, guys, it's very, very easy because we have free videos on YouTube. So it's really, really, we can enjoy the blessings of social media. I know we try to talk negative, you know, my experience, you know very well. But still, guys, it's so great today. You don't have to search for information, go to the library and spend days to find out something. You just type in and there you go. So how do we manage inflammation? Mainstream medicine, we suppress. We gave anti-inflammatory, we want to suppress symptoms. Is that good? Maybe. But for example, if someone is a flare of rheumatoid arthritis, of course, we want to suppress because we don't want to further damage the joint. Of course, I'm not against that. Don't get me wrong. But only suppressing, require the signal without addressing the why signal exists, right? A similar, guys, I like frequently the example, if I have a thorn in my finger, it's a little bit maybe bleeding, and I leave the thorn in the finger, I put a Band-Aid, it might subside slowly, but it will still smoldering inflammation. Versus if I pull out the thorn, put a Band-Aid, it will heal, right? Because if we constantly have those triggers, same like, for example, you have a fireplace and God forbid your house got on fire. Firefighters come, they extinguish the fire, and then you restart again your fireplace. Now, firefighters maybe didn't even leave. They have to do the job again over and over. It doesn't work like that. Again, I have nothing against putting people in a comfortable situation. Absolutely not. But only that step is not enough. We have to find why that signal exists. What is behind? So, we want to lower inflammation, resolve inflammation. How? Remove the triggers. Starting with diet and lifestyle, right? Clean up the diet, step by step. Start moving the body. Huge. I can't emphasize enough how huge is that. Starting very slowly, guys. Starting with a good eating hygiene, slowing down, putting the body into rest and digest mode, right? Work on the gut health. Do some testing and see what needs to be taken care of. Is that H. pylori maybe? Is that SIBO? Is that yeast overgrowth, mold, or Lyme? We don't know. Make sure that detoxification pathways are clean and not clean, working. That's a better word, working properly. And replenish depleted resources. So, how to detect inflammation? Multiple ways. The mainstream medicine usually tests for CRP, but CRP, remember this, it's mostly detect acute ongoing inflammation. Erythrocyte sedimentation rate, about the same. White blood cell count, about the same. Ferritin, also. So what will be even more comprehensive? Yes, I didn't even put it as a specific test. Cytokines, the interleukins, the tumor necrosis factor alpha, and so on. We can measure that today also. But insulin resistance, triglyceride, testing for gut dysbiosis, mold, environmental toxins. That gives us basically maybe indirect information, but very good information about the inflammation. So what to do? We started diet. If you do just a couple of things, start adding healthy fats. Forget about seed oils. What are the healthy fats? Avocado oil, extra virgin olive oil, coconut oil, right? Ghee, grass-fed butter, lard, tallow. Those are the healthy fats. Add nuts and seed, but please don't tell me you are eating nuts every day, meaning honey-covered peanuts or almonds. No, without any coverings. Movement. Start small. Start walking. Start marching in place. Start contracting your muscles. Those are called isometric contractions. Whichever form of movement will motivate you, because if you don't like weightlifting, for example, or going to the gym, You're not going to do that. Start but what you like. Dancing, whatever is that, just start moving your body. Very important. Sleep. 6 to 8 hours of restful sleep, preferably at the same time. I do that every night. I go about the same time. Stress management, that is crucial. I mentioned in the beginning, we all face stress, but our duty is to mitigate. How are you doing that? Different for everyone. You can do deep breathing, some breath work. You can do tapping, EFT. You can do just Hymus tapping. You can read your holy scriptures. You can listen to music, whatever. But that is our duty, to learn how to lower stress response. So this is the diet we want. Extra virgin olive oil with high polyphenols, olives, fatty fish, nuts, rosemary, polyphenol, right? So pepper that we have, and garlic. Guys, we need to take responsibility for our diet. Yes, it is convenient to get that Marie Calendar, whatever the name is, and put in a microwave, but at what price? At what price? And even, again, we will, guys, cover that more on Monday. Even if you cannot afford organic food all the time, which is really infuriates me, because all the food we buy should be organic and clean and healthy for us. It's not. And I know organic food is very expensive. I frequently talk about one of my clients in the past. The whole family couldn't afford organic food, so they bought for her and the rest of the family what they could afford. That's so wrong, guys. It should never be. Never, ever, ever, ever be the case. But unfortunately, it is. So do the best you can. Start cooking at home. Even if you cook conventional food, it's better than the ultra processed or fast food. Designate one day you have clean meals. Add maybe one more salad to your meals. Whatever is that, start making changes. So here is the chronic inflammation and connections. Look at this: cancer, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, MS, asthma, COPD, bronchitis, osteoarthritis, osteopenia, osteoporosis. Oh my gosh, it's huge, guys. Type 2 diabetes, fatty liver, cardiovascular disease, autoimmune diseases. It's just growing and growing. So there's a microbe. I will skip that now. Here, this is what I wanted to show you guys, the leaky gut syndrome. You see, it's very well shown. This is the healthy normal gut. We see the tight junctions between the cells. Now look at here. The tight junction will open up. So see molecules, for example, here, food particles, bacteria, toxins, they stay on the surface. They go to the bloodstream, leaky gut, and that is the problem. So again, it's interconnected, but just to mention, gut microbes, obesity, hypertension, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and on and on and on, guys. It's crazy. So another picture of chronic low-grade inflammation, similar to the previous one. Any question? Then I go through your comments and maybe questions. All right, so let's see. Let's see, checking. So Nikki says, so crazy that there is fake estrogen out there. Absolutely, Nikki. And we don't talk enough about. And you know what is, guys, BPS was found in breast cancer biopsies, just to know. So yeah, can't wait for fatty liver workshop. Me too. It's coming after we finish this detox and all this stuff. It's coming next. Yeah, Nikki, yes, watch for the free detox challenge. Yes. It is, Nikki says, crazy how common mold and mycotoxin really are. Yes. And we really, guys, especially mainstream medicine, I never even remember that we learned anything. Yes, we mentioned, of course, when we learned fungi, candidas and mold, aspergillus, stachybotrys, and so, but we really didn't much. No, not even how to diagnose, how the complexity. No. So let's see, Nikki. In this situation, strength training will be better than high intensity training or cardio. Now, no, it's both. Either whatever you pick. The only thing is, uh, meaning if that's hit, that short burst is good, but some heavy training, for example, long marathon running, for example, that's a high stress. So either you do cardio, I think mixed of everything will be the best. You do cardio to condition the heart, then you do some weight training or even your body weight. But all of them are good. Nikki said, I love ghee too. Yes. Alita, I've been reading about organic Ceylon cinnamon. Yes. Uh, Yes, Alita, cinnamon is very helpful for normalizing blood sugar. And yes, it is a good thing, absolutely. She said, my brother-in-law is diabetic and adds to his coffee and says it helps. Yes, it's so. But I would recommend also to add a little bit of extra virgin olive oil to his coffee. So, Alita, I have a recipe for cassava flour chips that are crispy and made with just extra virgin olive oil, nutritional yeast, and water. Yes, please share to the group. Yes, yes, absolutely. I like cassava flour. I like to make pancakes with cassava flour. Sounds good. Yes, maybe we should do a team of chips or snacks for Friday. This is what she's referring to. Every Friday, I post a recipe exchange, meaning exchanging the unhealthy with healthy. So exercise helps me with better sleep. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. And she said she eats better when she's active, when she's hydrated. Absolutely. Nikki, you are so welcome. Nikki is saying, thank you so much for sharing all this information. Yes. And since most of my clients are here present, we started a accountability group, fitness group, and soon I will do a workshop on how the active muscle helps with health and longevity, and vice versa. When we don't use our muscles, we waste our muscles, and how that is creating inflammation. I'm so super excited. So you are so welcome. Yes, so welcome, everyone. So happy to be here with you guys. Sending you a wonderful, wonderful, wishing you a wonderful evening. What I meant, sending you a hug, big hug, online Facebook hug, if that helps. Thankful for all of you that spending time with me. And tomorrow evening, don't forget, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is our Q&A session. So comment under the post. So let's make it fun and empowering evening tomorrow. Have a wonderful night, everyone.